Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Katelyn from Florals.com and I am mid-process for this layout. Most of these circles are not glued down, but I wanted to walk you guys through the process because the original file that I'd used got corrupted. So we're just going to walk through it together. So I took a bunch of scraps and 6x6 papers from this one, Hello Sunshine from Fancy Pants, this cork stack from DCWV, this embossed stack from just DCWV, I guess, and then one paper from Bo Bunny, and punched out all of these circles using my round circle punches. So I have 3 different sizes, as you can see, and I simply punched them out and laid them out like this, and I'm in the process of gluing them down. So I'm just taking my Scotch Quick Dry and gluing them down. I matted my photo on some papers from the same Fancy Pants collection just to give it a little bit of cohesiveness. I also took another 6x6 scrap and lined the edge here and paired that with a washi tape. But other than that, we are just gluing down all of our circles using a couple of foam adhesives to give it a little bit of interest. But that's where we're at, so now we're going to head back into the process. So we are back for the sped up process video, and I do apologize that the original video was corrupted, so you guys missed the placement of all of the circles. But essentially I started with the largest circles that I punched out, which are from almost all of the papers that I had chosen, minus the cork and the supplemental ombre teal that I brought in. But other than that, I punched at least one of each from the yellow pattern paper with the words on it, the pink geometric pattern, the white embossed, and then I have a script pattern that's sort of pink and orange ombre. So each of those got a 2-inch. I realized I needed to cover a little bit more territory, so I punched a second yellow. But essentially I just used all of my different sizes and shapes and colors to help randomize the mix. So you just want to make sure that you have a different size, different color, different pattern touching each one. So you'll see that no 2 alike patterns touch, and that's essentially how you can build out a cluster like this using your scraps, your 6x6 paper pads, whatever you might want to use. You can just make sure that you change up the pattern, color, and size, and you'll get this randomized look. Now I will say I did use the medium and small a ton more to fill in those spaces, but depending on how many different sized paper punches you have, you could obviously increase it instead of just using 3 like I did. Here I used a Mambi washi tape to create a little bit of a shelf for my photo to sit on, and again the photo is mounted on 2 papers from that Fancy Pants 6x6 paper pad. Now here's something that I didn't expect. I've had this Paper House puffy sticker set for quite some time, and I mean it's dwindling, there's not a ton left, but I didn't expect to use the entire thing on this layout. It honestly was the only embellishment that I really needed to give my circles the life that they needed. So obviously I put, I think, 3 circles on foam adhesive, and that gave some nice interest, but these puffy stickers added the color, the texture, and the dimension that I knew I wanted but didn't know how to pull off, and it was so easy to do it this way. So if you guys do have an embellishment set that is themed towards your topic, for instance, this one's tropical, we're on an island, and yes, this is a Disney page for my 2016 album. We're working towards those goals, but I recommend using themed products as much as you can on your layouts. And here it's a little overboard, but since some of them are so small, I felt like they read as different kinds of stickers rather than all the same type. Here I pull in something from my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit for the month, which I have been kind of neglecting so far, but I use this one from this little flare is from Scrap and Happy Studio, which is so fun. It just says smile, just a nice little, another orb to add to my circular collection. And you can do this sort of technique with other shapes as well. Maybe triangles or hexagons or stars or hearts. Definitely doable. I just like the idea of circles for tropical settings. I'm not sure why, if it reminds me of coconuts or the earth or what exactly, but I really like the round. I think it's playful, especially against that grid, you know, that background there. And that background paper is from Pink Fresh Studios BU collection. I forgot you missed that as well during my interpretation up front there. But don't forget to check out Crafty Maggie's video. She does 6x6 fix along with me now, and I do have a playlist for both 6x6 fix and Designing Disney, which are all the Disney pages that I've posted so far since I started scrapbooking Disney, so you guys can check that out if you're interested. They will all be linked down below. And to finish off with some other details, I pulled out that Tropical Dreams puffy sticker next to my photo. Will end up being my title, and so I decided to pull out a little cocktail umbrella because why wouldn't you want one on this layout? Here I'm using some Simple Stories Say Cheese stickers. I have a ton of Disney themed product, and I don't use it on every layout. On every Disney layout, that is, but I decided to pull some out here, and I went for some generic ones, the arrows, the hearts, the we are here, geotag, nothing too crazy. And then I pull out my Mickey crystals. Now I believe these are from Eyelet Outlet, and I believe the rainbow ones are probably from AliExpress, but the Eyelet Outlet ones are much better quality, so I would recommend you get yours there instead of these ones that are off the sort of like the black web, because we don't know where they come from and we don't know who made them and who designed them, and I wouldn't recommend AliExpress. I would recommend going to Eyelet Outlet instead, and I will try to have them linked down below. I know they sell out of these very often, but you can always keep checking back to see if they've restocked because they are amazing and they're pre-sticky, which I prefer over the ones that I have to stick down anyway. So since these puffy stickers are a little bit temperamental, I go back and add Scotch Quick Dry underneath all of them. Now, as for placement of where I put all the puffy stickers, I tried to keep the larger ones on the larger circles and the smaller ones as accents overlapping the seams of the circle meetup sections. So the pineapples, the flowers, the surfboards, the flip-flops, the seashells, all pretty much went over a divide. So somewhere that they met up, I tried to cover it up a little bit with a puffy sticker. It will just help it flow better in the long run and help it read as one unit all the way down the page, even though it sort of has this organic feel because it's not a straight line down. I'm not 100% content with how the title section's turning out, so I turn to just some random ephemera that sits on my desk. I pull through this little container pretty often, and it's off screen right now, but I will bring it on screen so you guys can see it. And it's just stuff that I need to put away. But right now it is sorted by color, which is convenient. So I look through some of the flowers that I have to give me a base for this cluster next to my title here. Right now the photo could honestly have been trimmed down more. It's just us in front of the palm trees and umbrellas at Castaway Cay when we went on our Disney cruise. But other than that, there's nothing too crazy going on in the photo, so I could go crazy as much as I wanted with embellishments, with color, and that is what I did. So as I search for pieces to fit in my title, I find this little guy here, and it's just a jelly bean soup phrase, and it says perfect and simple, I think. Perfect and amazing. It's really cute, and it's the perfect teal color. So I pull that in. I think it's from Farmhouse Stew Collection, but I opened that paper or that die cut pack quite a bit ago, so I'm not 100% sure. Here I find this piece, which I believe is also from Jelly Bean Soup, and I'm going to use that in the place where I just put it at the top left because I wanted something there to prompt me to journal, but also just to have like little notes of this particular moment because it was the end of the day. This was after the 5K race we did in the morning. This was after we did snorkeling with the stingrays. It had been a long day already and we hadn't even eaten lunch yet. You know, it just felt like the day could go on forever. And so the title, even Tropical Dreams, fits this really well. And I'm lucky that I had a puffy sticker that had that because making titles is not my strong suit at the moment. I'm a little bit rusty at it since taking pretty much a 2-week break from scrapbooking. This is my second project that I've made coming back, and it's definitely my favorite out of the two. But if you're interested in seeing the other project, it's over on Patreon. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, it took me almost 2 hours to do a traveler's notebook spread, which might not seem like a big deal to you guys, but it usually takes me about half an hour to do a page. So it was a big jump, and I could tell how rusty I was. But this one ignited that spark again, and I'm feeling much better about coming back to my craft room and using my supplies and working on these goals that I've had. Since I do have a bunch of cork on the right-hand side, I wanted to introduce something on the left that would help balance that neutral. So I pulled in this Jelly Bean Soup tag, which has a little star cut out, and I also pulled in that, I would call it a die cut, but it's actually a DIY embellishment. I paired 2 pieces of paper together, which also happen to be from Fancy Pants, a Studio Calico vellum, and then just a little star from my stash, and that is just a little embellishment cluster I made a while back. And that embellishment cluster was actually made in a Patreon mini class that I offered. So if you guys are interested, again, Patreon's linked down below so you can check out all the things that I mentioned and see what is going on over there. So as I mentioned, I wanted to include the die cut up there to add a journaling spot that's not too aggressive to the layout, because I like the flow of it over here on the right and I don't want to mess that up with my journaling. So I add a spot on the left because that seems like the safest place to put it, and it helps break up that pink and yellow that was pretty strong over there. I do look for some final touches. I don't really think it needed enamel dots or sequins, however that would have spoken to the round concentric thing we have going on here. And I will say I definitely had different ideas on how I was going to use the circles. I thought about layering them together to look like flowers, using my scallop punches that are off there to the right. I did think I was going to end up using those, but I didn't, and that's okay. So here I'm going to pull in a couple elements from my How to Kill a Kit with Style for March, including these Paige Evans pieces. So I'm just going to pull in a couple of these heart puffy stickers just to add a little bit of my kit onto this layout. But that is how the layout turns out. I think it turned out great despite being a little bit iffy with the video footage that we got. The camera just completely kaput on me at the beginning of this process video, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Here are the close-ups. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. And don't forget to check out my 4,000 subscriber giveaway because I don't want you to miss out. And don't forget to check out Crafty Maggie's video, which will be linked down below, because we really love the layouts we made this week, and we can't wait to share with you guys another 6x6 fix week coming up later this month. But I hope you guys enjoyed my excessive use of puffy stickers and only using 6x6 papers on this layout. But thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!